So how does Witch Hat Atelier uses exposition? We've seen tons of examples of bad exposition in media. All people seem to agree that stories should avoid exposition at all costs, but that just isn't the full picture. What can a story really gain when they use exposition? That's what we should be asking. Let's define the core difference between telling and showing. Showing is immersive. It keeps the reader in universe, experiencing the present, while telling delivers information way faster, but overall devoid of emotion. Stories should always aim for emotion, so they should never use exposition, right? Well, there's actually a way of combining both. So while you are telling information fast, you can still retain some of the emotional value. The technique is called unreliable point of view. This is mostly how Witch Hat Atelier handles its exposition. All of the narration of the manga is made in the first person. We are seeing the world through Coco's point of view. And it kinda gets meta in this scene. Where the witch is going through the things magic can do, she lists them in an order as they appear in the manga itself. But those are things that for Coco at the time, she probably didn't even know about. So in a way, the narration is both Coco, but limited by the information that the reader was presented. This style mixes both showing and telling in a very natural way. Coco is a character who is obsessed with magic, so every time magic shows up is always something awe-inspiring. The visual theme and mood of the story are all rooted in Coco's point of view. But there's another kind of exposition used in the manga, a more straightforward one. It is a classic trope to have a character as a teacher explaining stuff for the protagonist, and by extent the reader. And in this scene, this is what is happening. But for the first time ever, I felt like the straight exposition was quite earned. In the context of the story, magic was a big mystery, and no one knew exactly how it worked. So having a character clear out exactly how it works accelerates the story into the most interesting part, that is, characters using the magic. So, like every school arc, there's a lot of learning through teaching and challenges. So in these instances, I totally agree with the use of exposition, to lay the foundation of something more important, in this case, the magic system. Another topic that I want to dive in this video is about the use of reoccurrence. When Coco is drawing different magic symbols, we cut to the scene where Quifrey is in the forest using a fire scroll to keep himself warm. And right after, we see Coco using the same scroll and burning up the paper. We see Quifrey drawing a flight spell to fix a carriage, and later he uses the same symbol on his boot to levitate. This consistency really drives home the sense of hard magic systems with constant rules. And there is no faster way of laying out the foundation of a magic system without using some exposition. The reason I went into the specifics of the magic system is because I believe the manga works on a reward basis. Basically, for every scene with exposition, we immediately get a scene with action, characters applying what they learned. This makes information relevant because you know they are going to use it, sometimes even immediately after being told about. And this ties into the reason why stories are engaging at all, and its rhythm. No matter how important or complex the idea, or even the way you presented it, the faster you move from the idea to the next, the better. Of course, you need to properly allocate time to make justice to every single idea. But what I don't think is necessary is dwelling on an idea just to make sure everyone understands it. If you consider the reader as more of a slow reader and you get out of your way to make the story slower for them, I think you're missing the point of stories in the first place. The whole point of stories for me is coming back and look at it again with fresh eyes and getting something new from it. Even reading Witch Hat for the first time, the characters didn't resonate with me at all, just felt like stereotypes. But reading for the second time for this video, I realized how much every single scene has weight in relation to how the story develops. And of course, I don't want to spoil it on this video. I wanted to make this more of an introduction to the manga if you never read it. If you're thinking of reading it, I deeply recommend, even more now that the anime adaptation was announced. Or maybe just wait for it to drop and watch the anime, I'm sure it will be great too. That's it. Leave a comment on what you think about this, and subscribe if you want more of this type of analysis. Bye.